From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
It's a big morning here on Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people, and the vote is on Monday. We'll go over all the breaking news and what Steny Hoyer says about that vote and what you're only going to hear on this channel as well. Then we cut to the big money that's coming in that fourth stimulus recon you're only going to hear on this channel, and then the exciting news about fifth stimulus, which is about to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, and more. And then we cut to the big money that viewers continue to get. $5, $10, $15, $20,000. I'll show you how you get this big sums of money as we walk into a beautiful new morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. Let's get to the deliciousness starting right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Congratulations. You made it to another day, and the weekend's upon us with beautiful weather across the board. Hope you're having a great day. I'm alive with you direct from Santa Monica in this fourth stimulus check update of 2021. So much breaking news as the president is now gearing up for the big push of the final vote. That vote starts on Monday. I'll have all the latest details of what's going on that fourth stimulus recon and why the Democrats are likely to get you more months of checks. Then we cut to the vote and the details about all those checks in that recon. $3.5 trillion of them coming to you. And then we cut to the big, incredible, great news as the fifth stimulus raises your benefits up a lifetime and more. Everything you need to know and why Purple Hawks are pouncing and get big sums of money. I'll have all those details in this brand new Mornings LA broadcast direct from Santa Monica. And this is Lalate, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning like right now, direct from Santa Monica and taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Mornings Crypto at 9:45. But how's the weather where you are? Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video to 3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. If you've heard, since Wednesday, the YouTube messaging system for members has been down. So get that pen and paper out because I want you to write down the programming schedule, if you don't already know it, by hand. I'm next back with you at 9:45, 2 minutes after this video ends with Mornings Crypto. That big show heats up live on air. New show, asterisk, new show at 9:45 a.m. Following this morning's show, you're watching live from Santa Monica right now. Then I'm back at 11 a.m., about 2 hours from now, with Noontime live on air, direct from Santa Monica. Then we go into our afternoon shows. The afternoon shows are easier because I can send them forwarding from one show to the next. We start with the Afternoons LA Throwback Show at 1 o'clock, the new Afternoons LA Show at 3 o'clock, the new Evening Show at 5 o'clock. Evenings, Overnights Crypto starts at 3:45 afternoon after the afternoon show kicks in. And then we'll go into our evening shows with Stree and Stimulus at 7 o'clock, Sirloin at 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock, Overnights programming, and then Purple. Tomorrow morning, I'm back with you at 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Overnights, and then 3:30 a.m. with Street and Stimulus until we go into 4 a.m. with Early Mornings Lalate, a brand new show. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. The Democrats represent, they're giving you a fourth stimulus check, but now more Democrats are stepping forward and saying it needs to be monthly and it needs to be $2,000. Wow, incredible, great news. Let's go over what's happening and why this is actually unfolding in front of us. Senate versus House, House versus Senate, get ready to vote. Warren, Sanders, and also Wyden, senators, writing the president a letter saying we need monthly stimulus checks. The amount unknown. So they say monthly, but they do not say the amount. Then, over on the House side, we have AOC and Omar Democrats writing the president a letter saying monthly and $2,000. There you go. There's that number. Then we have the American petition. Nearly 4 million Americans have signed a petition, monthly $2,000. Over on the House, we have the House Ways and Means Committee writing the president a letter saying we need a monthly forced stimulus check, and we're going to include it. They say monthly, but they don't say the amount. And then, of course, we have the House bill. The House bill is pandemic plus 1 year, $1,000 after the first month. That would mean that you would get at least $13,000 under the House bill to start. But boy, if you saw the breaking news late yesterday, and it's still the talk of town today, is that companies like Ross Department Stores are giving bad economic guidance for third quarter, the upcoming quarter, saying that Delta is going to cause businesses to slow. So they think Delta is a big issue. Does Congress agree? Jump the live chat and vote House or Senate right now and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Who gets that forced stimulus check? You do. The Democrats represent that if you got a third, you get a fourth. Single individual, $75,000 or less. Democrats represent you get a forced stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less. Democrats represent you get one as well. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent you get a forced stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, Democrats represent you get one as well. The forced stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the forced stimulus check is the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. Finally, the forced stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you are at the beach and you see someone in a yellow swimsuit, do not wave. It's not a waivable check. In fact, it's not the check. It's just someone in the opening credits of this video. And can we top that? Yes. In the second half of this video, we go to the forced stimulus recon. Done deal. I'll explain to you why I'm saying it's a done deal. This massive $3.5 trillion of checks coming to the American people, I'll explain to you what they are and why I think it's a done deal. Then in the final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end, we'll be going over what some of those checks are and how soon it's going to be passed. Wow. It's incredible breaking news you're hearing only on this channel. But first, let's get some money. Get a pen and paper ready because we're going to get some money for rent, utilities, food, or internet, and more. And this is the money that it was put for you under third stimulus. And now viewers are getting big sums of money. So when we talk about rent, let's see what viewers are getting. Bam. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth getting $27,000 for rent as a Purple Hawk. Unbelievable. Wow. Great job, Elizabeth. Mark, Purple Hawk, getting $25,000. Nancy, $24,000. Richard, $22,000. And Nisi, $20,000. Now, the next part of this broadcast I'm really excited about because I told viewers, send me a private message on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you got some money from this channel for rent, utilities, food, or internet. And the messages is coming in every few hours. These are people just getting it in the last few days. This really, it warms my heart because it tells me that people are watching the video and they're doing exactly what they need to do. John revealing to me he got $12,000 for SNAP. Kathy revealing to me she got $13,400 for rent and water, and she also got some SNAP. Helen getting some rent, utilities, electric, and water. And overnight, I got a message from Lainey getting $13,000 for rent. Wow, Lainey. Great job. And Sharon, $2,700 for SNAP. Viewers have been doing this all week long. And if you have a success story, send it to me on private messages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Well, I have countless other viewers which I've been featuring all week long. One of them was Lainey, and she got, Cecilia. She got $1,200 for HEAP. That's a heap. That is a heap. So how much are other people getting for utilities? Let's look at the incredible great news right now. The utilities is coming in at bigger numbers than we ever thought before. And how are they? They are this big. Wow. $7,000 for Nancy. There she is with number 2. And Mark, $66,000. And Angela, $5,000. Finally, for some SNAP, let's see the number. How much are people getting for SNAP? Oh my goodness, Louie, great job. John, $10,000 to $12,000. And Nancy going for the triple ground. She got 3 items for this channel, rent, utilities, and SNAP. Who joins Nancy? Bam. Nancy getting $32,000 from this channel for 3 items. Nisi getting $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark getting $32,000 for, Mark, you got 2 items? How did you get on my graphic? That's a graphic about 3 items. How did you get on there? Let me explain what happened with Mark. Mark got 2 items at $32,000. So over 5 days of recordings, I said to Mark on air, I said, Mark, go get the 3rd item. It's SNAP. It's SNAP. That's why they call it SNAP. It's easy to get. And guess what? I love 2 parts of the story. Number 1, Within just days, less than 5 days, Mark got SNAP. It shows you the speed at which you can get this money. Number two, he reached out to his neighbor and told that his neighbor, watch this kid. Watch this kid, he's good, Lalate. He told his neighbor to watch me, and the neighbor went from zero to $20,000 of rent in just the same period of time. Yeah, that shows you how people are really taking the videos and learning from them. And Sandy yesterday said she was showing the videos to everyone that comes to her door. Just take out a video and say, hey, you watch it. Hello, how are you? Oh, a pizza delivery guy? Watch this video. There you go. So how much money did Mark get for SNAP? Incredible. He got $19,000 for SNAP, bringing his grand total to $50,500. And boy, the numbers continue to come in bigger than bolder than ever before. And if you think that is the ceiling, get ready for Lorraine. She got $105,640 from this channel. And this is what we do because this is how we've been doing since day one. We started this in April of last year when people had applied for that EIDL loan. Their application was stalled up, not getting approved, going nowhere, stuck in what I call the 330, the 331, and the 484 text. You remember that? Well, I did their applications on air and off air and private messaging, getting 10 applications a day that were stalled, approved, upwards of $150,000 a pop. $25 million of EIDL loans I got approved, saving people's homes, their employees' homes, and their businesses. But then, in fall of 2020, similar situation. Second stimulus was not coming, sort of like how fourth stimulus is not yet coming yet. And I said, you need money. So I got viewers $250,000 of rent. Tyrone and his family, 4 out of Boston, got $15,000, $16,000 of rent from December to spring, paying all their rent. But now we're doing it bigger and bolder than ever before because you as Purple Hawks are pouncing. So get that pen and paper ready because I want you to be the next Lorraine right now. I'm going to show you how you get some rent, mortgage assistance, utilities, SNAP, and all that and more starting right now. Here are some introductory remarks. Number one, if you apply to one place and they say no, keep on applying because I'm going to show you 6 places to apply. It's very likely the first one will say no. Don't worry because if one says no, reach out to the next. Next, they also have their own eligibility criterion. So the first one may say no because of this, and the next one may say yes because of the same reason. Number 3, each has their own pot of money, so who worries if the first one says no, just reach out to the next. Also, states are all given the same amount of money. So if your state has 20 residents and the state next to it has 40 residents, they gave an equal amount of money to all the states based upon the number of residents. So there's a lot of money available for you. Now, you may be in a town that only has 100 citizens, but don't worry, I'm going to show you how to go city, county, state. I'm going to show you how to go up the food chain. Ultimately, every state was given the same amount of money for all its citizens. Finally, don't insert new eligibility criterion that you just sort of came up in your mindset. Like they don't give money to people in front of surfboards. Untrue. There you go. All right, you ready? You're going to reach out to 6 places. Here you go. Your city hall, your city house authority. Your county hall, your county house authority. Your state hall, your state house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. That's all you say. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Mitch McConnell's wonderful lobster ice cream. Oh, my goodness, I feel sick. Don't say that. They'll just hang up the phone on you and just run for the, Pepto-Bismol. There you go. And if you got money for rent and utilities, post in the live chat right now. Congratulations, Tim and Linda, who got as well. The next pot of the money is money for SNAP. And yes, it's a SNAP. Eligibility is very easy to get. It's easier than a stimulus check. Where do you get it? Department of Agriculture. What is it for? Food, to pay your food. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom. Gail got it. Louie got $18,000. Mark, $19,000. John, $10,000 to $12,000. Well, how much does it pay? A family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year, annualized. But if you heard the breaking news first, anywhere, on Mornings Lalate live on air on this channel, you heard the incredible great news. If you haven't, let me reveal it to you right now. On Monday, the Department of Agriculture, after a meeting with the President of the United States, made the following determination. No more executive orders increasing SNAP. Now the Department of Agriculture is going to increase it themselves, and they have. Here's the major announcement. Everyone's SNAP benefits everywhere nationally will be increasing in October an average of 25%, lifetime automatic. Oh my goodness. And so, yes, Mark, who was at $19,000 a Snap, will be seeing now upwards of $25,000. So if you have a success story for Snap, post in the live chat right now. And we're killing, we're only 14 minutes this video. Let's get some money back from your states. This is the return of your unemployment benefits due to computer error. Reach out to your state to track it. It will land by direct deposit. One viewer got $3,000 for this. Another viewer got $5,000. Finally, that refund check coming back from IRS. IRS is sending back the refund check that you paid taxes on that 2020 unemployment benefits. One viewer, the average check is about $1,200. Mark got $1,400, but one viewer overnight reveals to me in private message she got upwards of $2,400, $2,500. Great job. It depends on how much you paid on it across the board. More about that second. Margaret got it, Cod got it, and well. But here's a personal message. This channel was launched for me to help you get money and you also to help others. And you've been doing an incredible, great job in the recent days. Whether it's you in the live chat saying, I'm from your same state, I got money for rent, let me show you where it is. Or you interacting with viewers saying, here is where it is, but here's what you need to know. If you're in the live chat, post your success story for rent, utilities, or SNAP that you got. Post your success stories because when you do, you help other people. You help other people multiple ways. Number one, you inspire people to pick up the phone and get the money. Because a lot of people simply just don't have the encouragement to pick up the phone and do it. And when they see so many people picking up the phone, then they realize, wait a second, I can do this. This is no problem. Number two, a lot of people realize that in picking up the phone, they're going to get more than a few $100s. They're going to get thousands of dollars. Also, a lot of people never heard of Snap before they found this channel. Larry Maui never heard of it. He's now getting upwards of $600 a lifetime because of that increase, because of my recordings. Finally, Art Sullivan and Nisi got 3 items. Wonderful viewers across the board. They inspired us to get 3 items, not settle at 1. And finally, we're seeing the big numbers are bigger than we ever thought, so you need to pick up the phone and make that push. Let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Where they're landing, direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov. And 70% of the time it will work. It will reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid. And it will also, 70% of the time, reveal the refund check you're getting. And finally, it will reveal stuff you wish you'd never seen. Like when Mitch has a lobster fest, does he serve it with $12 ice cream or is it $1.20 ice cream? And finally, we'll reveal the refund check you're getting back from IRS. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. Why do I say this is a deal done? And why do I say it's coming to you? Let me explain all the details starting right now. Number one, the price tag has already been agreed upon before they started. The Democrats already agreed upon the price tag of $3.5 trillion. Number two, the recon is all checks for the American people. First stimulus, second stimulus, third stimulus were mostly checks for corporations. This is almost all checks for the American people. Number three, the price tag and the money being given to the committees is a done deal. So all that's left is to determine how to spend the money in those subcommittees. I'll have more about that in 5 or 15 minutes of this video, but let's go over how we got to this spot starting right now. We originally had roads and bridges in the recon. And so what they did was they took the roads and bridges out of the recon, making the recon now passable and also smaller. A conservative publication confirms my reporting that says the following: the higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go, confirmation. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges, and put it into the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller, obviously. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable, and vice versa. Here's something you only hear really on this channel, is that the Democrats on both the House and Senate side were meeting with the president before they started this whole process and said, we want to get a price tag agreed upon. And they agreed upon a price tag of $3.5 trillion. So this is a done deal because the vote happened on Monday. Do you agree upon a price tag? They already agreed upon the price tag. They already agreed upon the price tag, and that's why they have been asking for a big price tag earlier on beforehand. That's why Representative Richie Torres and Ilhan Omar had originally said things like, I need a larger recon. I need a recon that goes as far as we want it. Both progressives and both Democrats. They got it, $3.5 trillion. The president also told the Democrats, protect the recon because everything in there is checks for them. Well, they protected it, and now it's heading to the finish line. That's what Schatz and Jalapal had told us. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon substantive? What is a recon procedural? Let me go over all the details starting right now. First, the president has made very clear he has to have both bodies of legislation on his desk in the White House to sign at the same time. This helps immensely because no one can derail one provision for the other one. Republicans want the bipartisan and the Democrats want the recon. So they have to sort of, in a way, not ambush one or the other. Let's go over all the details starting right now. What is a recon and what is a bipartisan? A recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill. $3.5 trillion price tag. Everything is checks for you and the American people, also called the progressive spending plan or the Democratic welfare plan. The infrastructure, or bipartisan, is also called roads and bridges. Price tag of $1.5 trillion. It's all for roads and bridges, not your money. Okay, that's pretty simple. So we have three bodies of law which we have to do. We have recon procedural, we have recon substantive, and we have bipartisan to do. What is recon procedural? That is very simple. That basically asks, are we going to do a recon at a price tag of $3.5 trillion? Yeah, we are. And are committee number one going to get $10 and committee number two going to get $20? Yes, we are. That's all it asks. Very, very simple. And then after that is passed, then we go into recon substantive, which basically asks, okay, now that a committee has been given $10, how does that committee spend the money? Very, very simple. You see three bills: recon procedural, then recon substantive, and then bipartisan. How did we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. He did. It passed the Senate. On Monday, it lands in the House, and it'll pass in a blink of an eye for the procedural step. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. Wow, can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently wrote the president a letter saying they're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. The same subcommittee we detailed twice in this recording? Yes. They represent they're giving you monthly stimulus checks as well. You have the push purple power, ensure they keep their promise. Can we top that? Yes, as Biden did it. 8 weeks ago today, he was overseas signing a ceremonial signature today on a Saturday. Well, the real signature was just days later, back in the United States. And it's for something that's no longer needed in the recon. It's a confusing and complicated thing that we don't need to worry about, but the great news is it's not no longer in the recon. It was called the global minimum corporate tax rate. Now it makes it easier to write the recon, easier to call the vote on the recon, easier to vote on the recon, and easier to pass the recon because this thing is not in there. And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll be going over the incredible great news. As Steny Hoyer calls his Democrat colleagues in the House back into session on Monday. But you're going to see why that letter is actually incredible great news, because it talks about something else which I think is incredible. And you're only hearing that on this channel. Then we go over the recon vote. We'll go over what they're doing next. We'll go over what those checks are for in there, how you're going to get those checks, and a little bit about fifth stimulus as well. But first, if you've been with this channel since day one and been on that wonderful ride, and you've gotten at least $1 from this channel, whether it's utilities or the gas bill or the water bill or EIDL or PPP or PBT, you're ready for forced stimulus. But if you haven't gotten at least one item, pick up the phone today. Call up the water department, electric department, phone department, city hall, city house authority, county hall, county house authority. I want you to get one of these sums of money. And then if you can't get the rest, then reach out to the volunteer, because the volunteers will help you get the rest of the sums of money. How do you find the volunteers? Reach out to the script, go down the description of this video. You see an emoji to the community page. It's news.lalate.com/community. Reach out to them for those other items after you got that first item, and they'll help you get those big sums of money. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back with you in the final 15 minutes of this video, heating up on this morning's LA broadcast, live from Santa Monica. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. They're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Individuals, reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings Lalate, live from Santa Monica, as the new Mornings Lalate continues and goes into the final 15 minutes starting right now. We'll go over that forced stimulus recon and why the vote on Monday is going to be easier than you ever thought. Then we go over what happens next after that vote, and then we go over the big checks that in that forced stimulus recon. We'll go over the monthly stimulus checks and the push for stimulus checks across the board, and then we'll go over fifth stimulus. We'll also go over everything you need to know to pounce as a Purple Hawk across the board. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big morning's broadcast starting right now in the final 15 minutes. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. And once you're part of this family, hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Meantime, coming up right after this video is Mornings Crypto, live on air at 9:45 a.m. It will not automatically come after this video. You'll have to click the link. If you've been with me since Wednesday, you have seen that there's been an outage of the YouTube members alert system. So you're not getting alerts from members from YouTube. So here's the programming schedule. Write it down. 9:45 is Mornings Crypto, and then we go into 11 a.m. More about that later, but let's turn to this stimulus. The president had promised this during his run for president, and yet he has not yet delivered it. Well, the Democrats vowed to take care of it in what's called fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is heating up in September, and how does it work? It's very simple. First, they'll raise your benefits up lifetime. That's step number one. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation. They're going to move the asset limit, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. This stimulus goes to drafting in September. Then they hope to get to a vote by November. Let's go over how this applies and how you get this. First, who is this for? You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. First thing they'll do is they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Where is inflation going? Up. How high? It's going to be transitory. Transitory is a fancy word to mean a temporary spike. In fact, we had the Fed minutes from Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, this last week that says he may start to taper in December. Why? Because inflation is getting really high. That's the highest point. And that's incredible great news for us because that's right when they apply our benchmark. How high do I think? Maybe about 5%. Let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply the benchmark. And if it's 5%, you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. So if inflation is 2% the year after that, you'll be +2 +5%. Then they're going to move the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 on hand. Now you have room to have some muddled, did you just call this muddled? Some purple in your hand, and also some stimulus checks. They're going to move the income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And you'll be able to do a pair dance at your wedding like Rob and Sandy and no longer fear loss of benefits. Finally, will there be a fifth stimulus check? Yes, the House Ways and Means Committee represents their will. And lastly, if you're on the live chat and you notice people who are Purple Hawks and you do not have an emoji of a Purple Hawk next to your name, you need to get one right now. Purple Hawks have done an incredible job by realizing that forced stimulus is coming, but it's not paying me today and it's not paying me yesterday. And we have all these incredible great remarks from viewers send me private messages overnight today, yesterday, and the day before, saying I got $2,000, I got $4,000, I got $800. People are realizing there's money to get right today. And they're picking up the phone and they're calling and getting them big sums of money. We have Mark who went from nothing in Snap to $19,000 before the lift, which is now $25,000 in less than 4 days. We have his neighbor who went from zero to $20,000 of rent in less than 4 days. So you see these people are getting some of the money across the board. When second stimulus was passed, we weren't getting that second stimulus check right away. And that's how I got Tyrone and his family of four inspired to go apply for rent. I got viewers $250,000 of rent. But when I launched Purple Hawks in January this year, I said, hey, there's a lot of other money out there in third stimulus, not just a $1,400 stimulus check. So Purple Hawks is delivered daily from me to you as members, a breakdown of all the big money under first stimulus, second stimulus, third stimulus, and proposing a fourth stimulus. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. The membership link is underneath the video. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video right on time, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon, the biggest payout we've ever seen on the history of this channel. Why is it a done deal, and why is it so exciting? Let me go over all the details and go over what's in store for you on Monday. Number one, the $3.5 trillion price tag of the recon was agreed upon by the Democrats before they started the whole process. So they've already agreed upon the price tag. Number two, they've already agreed to pass the recon. Number three, they don't need any Republicans to pass it. All the Democrats are passing it. Number four, the recon is all checks for you, mostly application-based checks. While first was this, second was this, third was this, fourth is this big. A lot bigger. And while the previous stimulus packages were mostly for corporations, this is all checks for you. So all they have to really do is decide upon how to spend the money. More about that in a second. And while we don't have the bill actually yet, here's a proposal of some of the checks and what they want to give to you. Lots of checks for seniors, lots of checks for workers, but checks for virtually everyone watching this channel. Checks for free school meals for all, checks for tax breaks, checks for cheaper prescription medication, checks for free internet, checks for workers, checks for independent contractors, checks for unions, checks for seniors, checks for vision, checks for hearing, and checks for dental. Let's go over the voting process and why Monday is so exciting. On Monday, the House is ordered back into session, says Steny Hoyer in a letter to his House of Representatives, in order to vote on Monday starting at 6 p.m. on what would ostensibly be recon procedural. That's what was passed on the Senate side about a week and a half ago. That recon procedural, however, is an easy vote. We've already agreed upon this before we even started it, says the Democrats. They already agreed upon $3.5 trillion price tag. They already agreed upon the committee is getting $10, $20 here and there. They've already agreed that. So this vote on Monday is easy breezy. So what you're only going to hear on this channel is this type of analysis. Steny Hoyer's letter has a fascinating sentence in there. The letter says, we're coming back on Monday, and we're staying here until we're finished. Excuse me? Think about this. The Senate did the recon procedure and then left while the House was out of town. Now the House is coming back into town to finish up the recon procedure, which will be done as soon as they call that vote. So what is left to do if they're staying until it's finished? Recon substantive, which is exactly what I had been reporting for 2 weeks before that. There was a lot of reports saying recon substantive will go House Senate direction, which makes total sense. Stay in session, House, till we finish the whole recon, and then we can go home. Recon substantive, House Senate. Why do I think this is great news? Let me go over the analysis. The recon substantive bill is being written by subcommittees on the House side, not the Senate side. Those House subcommittees are dedicated subject matters under the Constitution, House Ways and Means, unemployment, and stimulus checks. When those subcommittees are done, they sign their pages up to whoever calls it for a vote, but if it's Nancy, it starts on the House side. I like that it starts on the House side because the House subcommittees is writing the legislation. Number two, the House members always spend more money than the senators. Number three, the House members are more progressives. They spend more money than the moderate Democrats in the Senate. And number four, I like starting on the House side because if they spend more money than the Senate Democrats do the vote-a-rama thereafter, they can add more money on top of that. It's incredible, great news. That is likely why Hoyer said that, because the Senate is not in session, but the House is coming back in session and staying in session. I love that. I love that. All right, let's go over then to the next thing you need to know, which is that The recon, when we look at the recon, there's two things to think about in our mind, which is $3.5 trillion of money, which is going to get passed and send money out to you. That is generally, send money out to committees, which we've already shown on this channel. And then those committees, one for dental, one for internet, one for workers, you're going to then go to those committees and get the money. You've done this before on this channel. You've done it whether it was increasing your SNAP benefits or PEBT or PUA or PPP or EIDL. You've picked up the phone and called the gas company and say, hey, I need $10, I need $20. Now, in addition to that, there's a push on a way to get those stimulus checks in there. The American Petition, the House Ways and Means members say they want it in there and writing it in there. AOC and Omar saying it should be in there $2,000. Warren, Sanders, and Wyden saying it needs to be in there. The House of Bill saying it in there. But ultimately, there's a big issue, which is when they go to write recon substantive, we already know the money is checks for us, and we already know the money is going to the committees, but they still got to spend the money the right way. That's why I brought back seats for stimulus. And ironically, yeah, do you see the irony here? Guess which seats are up for re-election in the next few weeks? Not the Senate side. The graphic for the Senate is referring to next year. The House seats. Ironically, the people who are doing the drafting and potentially doing the first vote, the House members, their seats are up for grabs. Hashtag seats for stimulus. Go on social media, tag your elected officials saying, give us the right stimulus, or taking your seats. We did it in 2020 as a social media campaign, and we're doing it again, and it really works. Finally, one of the most important things which I'm so excited for as we go into a big morning's broadcast and we go into morning's crypto and then noontime at 11 a.m. is the following. I'm really excited that I see these private messages coming into social media accounts for Lalate at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram where people saying, thank you. Because of your videos, I got $600 for utilities last night. Yesterday, I got $200 for gas. The day before that, I got $300 for water. I love that because guess what? That's a true embodiment of the purple power spirit. We all know fourth stimulus is going to come. We all know fourth stimulus is going to pass. We all know there's $3.5 trillion of checks for us under that fourth stimulus recon. But it ain't going to pay us a check today. It ain't going to pay us a check yesterday. But who will? City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, multiple utilities, whether it's water, gas, electric, heating, oil. This money is available right now. It's third stimulus. And while when third stimulus was passed, I said I can get you about $14,000, not $1,400 stimulus checks. Viewers are now getting $30,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. Your success starts at $1 by picking up the phone and calling that electric department or SNAP and saying, I need rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You've already won. Why? Because when we go to fourth stimulus, it will be much the same. It will be much the same where you'll pick up the phone, you'll call and say, I need that dental. I need that free internet. I need that check for workers. I need these checks because they're going to be sent to the committees and you're going to pick up the phone and call or go to a particular website and call. Yes, a push on the way to get those stimulus checks out the door as well. But the big sums of money under fourth stimulus at $3.5 trillion is those numbers that you're going to pounce as a purple hawk. And if you've done it in a third and you've gotten $5,000 in the third, imagine how much money you're going to get under fourth. That's this much bigger. And with that, yes, join me next on Morning's Crypto, starting in just about 5 minutes. It's live on air at about 9:45. Well, it's about 9:55, so we'll start closer to about 10 o'clock. In about 5 minutes from now is Morning's Crypto live on air. You'll see it on the YouTube community, on the YouTube page for Lalate. Morning's Crypto live on air, starting at 10 o'clock in about 5 minutes from now. Then in an hour from now is noontime. I'm back with you at 11 a.m. for the latest update across the board. Then we go into our afternoon shows. Because the YouTube alert system is down, write down the schedule and memorize it because I don't want you to miss a single video because there is so much breaking news this weekend. The afternoon's LA Throwback Show at 1 o'clock. Then it'll take you into the new afternoon's LA show at 3 o'clock. The overnight's crypto starting at 3:45, and then we go into evening's LA at 5 o'clock. After that come our evening shows, Street and Stimulus at 7 o'clock, Sirloin at 8 o'clock, then overnights at 9 o'clock, and Purple at 11:30. And tomorrow I'll be back, of course, at 3, 3:30, and the early mornings show at 4 a.m. So with that, subscribe, become a member, and also like this video. In a day where there's so much exciting, great news, I want you part of this incredible family. So hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video to 3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay with Lalate for more.